Hello and welcome to In the Name of Progress. My name is Matt Nahat and we are playing Eberron. Uh, and it is in the Genesis system. Genesis by FFG. Um, and we are in our third session now. I am joined with my good friends, and they are playing Ashley, Lorenzo, and Lynx. And we have just been delving through a sewer to try and discover what was wrong. We were told that something was wrong, but Rontaltain, the face of the council, was not sure, and so he sent us to discover what was wrong. And so we did. We did discover, well, so far we have discovered a little bit. We know that there are oozes that are, or ooze that is sort of spreading through the sewers. It is following the water from somewhere unknown towards the sea, following the flow of the water. We know that it has been accumulating and growing over about the last week. We met some people in the sewer who weren't very responsive, but we left them some food and we made our discoveries, and we finally found a rusty old boiler in a room that was clearly designed to heat up the pipes of water, and to do that to such a point where it would boil, and then it could be used to rinse the sewer out. Upon this discovery, we decided best not touch it and fiddle with it. Instead, report what we had found to Rontaltain and see what he would like to do next, and also maybe get the help of an engineer who could help us out with this device. Now, at the start of this session, we've just had a couple of questions from my players about leveling up process and things like that. And so I just want to touch on some of the things that was asked. So let me go back to that. So the question that was asked and what I wanted to continue was what?
Oh, we were talking about the fact that you don't have to use your points immediately upon getting them.
Right.
Unlike some games, it's not like you have to level up right then. You can save your points to spend the way that you think you need or as you think
So,
fits.
yeah, so why I thought that this was a good conversation to have recorded and not off screen was because this has to do with how we think about our characters and how we think about their progression. And when doing so, in a lot of games, in a lot of systems, you start out a character and you're planning not just level one, but you sort of go, I sort of want to be, for example, a ranger. And the reason I want to be a ranger is because I would really like to, for example, get an animal companion one day, and so I want to do this training aspect. I want to have this theme of training animals, and I want to come into being able to do that better and better, and then my trained animal at a certain point might be able to then go and attack the enemy, and I might be able to get them to round things up and fetch stuff and even open doors and weird things and maybe flank the enemy and all of these things, right? So we start out this character and we're thinking about the things that they might grow into as they're gaining experience. And we do that because the system is designed in such a way that you can fairly easily plan ahead and sort of see what's coming. Now, in Genesis, I've seen a few people do things slightly differently, but how I understand it and how I've run the game for the longest time now is with this concept of, sure, it's okay to have some ideas about where you might head, but don't get married to those ideas. And the reason for that is because every session that we do, especially in this campaign and any campaign of Genesis that I run, we play a a story based game where what we do matters and what happens to us matters. And where I want to go with the idea of leveling up and adjusting our skills and learning new talents is not on this, I'm going to go for the thing that's most powerful, or I'm going to absolutely 100% only follow the path that gets me the highest mechanics. For example, I want to be the best at mechanics, so I'm just going to pour everything into mechanics and only do. So I want to avoid that. And the reason I want to avoid that is because every session tells a story. And things happen to our characters, and our characters do things. We meet people, we realize that we've got a weakness that we might like to fill. We realize we come upon a role-playing situation and we approach it a certain way. And each of those choices can inform points that we put into our character that may not have been our first concept, but matches what the story and what our character is doing. And so that's where I want us to focus our minds on when we're looking at leveling up our character. And so if today, after 2 sessions, you don't feel especially like your character has had any like really pivotal moments, or they haven't thought that there's something missing, or if there's nothing like that, that is totally okay, and we can not spend our points. What I would encourage you is to have an open mind, and when something like that does happen, when they're like, oh, I really wish I had another rank of charm so that I could persuade, put those points in, because you've progressed your character. Or when something bad happens to your character and they get really hurt, you might be, oh, I need another point in acrobatics so I can jump out of the way, or I need another point in resilience so that I can actually fight off disease. So when things happen, we want to be thinking about that our points can go into these things and not be blindsided by an end goal. Sure, we go towards your end goal. I'm not saying don't do that, but don't do that at the expense of putting things into your character when the game is about that. It's about experiencing things and then saying, you know what, I need some training in this, and then doing that. Does that make sense to everybody?
Say that again.
Yes.
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 Alrighty. So yeah, don't feel like you have to spend your points, and when you do, do your best to be to what your character wanted to do in the first place, but also, yeah, what we've been doing and what has happened and what makes sense to the story. Okay. So it is still Mole, which is a Monday, 23rd of Olaroon. It's about 6 p.m. We have left the sewer and we have travelled through the streets of Throneport, through the streets of the Brellish district, the Blue District, back to Daroon Gate. I think I'm going to sneeze in a minute. We'll see. Excuse me. And so, yes, we are back at Daroon Gate to report back to Rontaltain. And so, I have a list here of what we wanted to say to him. That is all fine. So, we wanted to say that we saw Dantina Porro, the widow, and report to Rontal about the Stout Squire banner. We deliver Rundle the package from Absinthe Minded. We delivered the goo bottles that we harvested from the oozes to Rundle Tane. We reported the skeletal remains that we found in the sewer and the burns of the people that we found down there and the boiler, and that the goo got more alive and vibrant the further that we went into the sewer. And he agrees to source us an engineer. He tells us about the Brass Ring, which is an inn that we are able to stay in. Now, did we actually report into the Brass Ring?
That's what we are going to do, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. So
Yeah,
I'm
one second.
going
Because
to.
we just turned in the slime, and I think we're heading to the brass ring.
Okay.
I was thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So that is an interesting perspective game. Okay, let's zoom on in here. There we go.
Leaks was one.
Okay. Now
Oh.
I have used I have used a map that's called the Manticore's Tail.
Actually did check.
And so that is that. But basically, we're ignoring that and saying that this is the Brass Ring. Yeah, so we basically end up here.
Oh, and my character went to do their thing for the night.
Oh. Okay.
What was that?
Ashley had gone back to the Skimble Shack to do their show that night after we got all settled in.
Okay.
So maybe I think we had checked in after all.
Okay. To perform, we check into the Brass Ring. Okay. I just need to make sure that we've got notes for all of this. Okay, so do we want to do some role play in the Brass Ring? Do we want to cut to Ashley's performance in at the Skimble Shank? What do we want to focus on? This is your game now, so.
I mean, unless you guys are really wanting to see Ashley do stuff, I have nothing prepared or in mind.
I would be good with jumping ahead to morning if everyone else is. I don't have anything specific I wanted to do.
Alright, well, real quick, I just want to touch base with the Skimble Shack. Okay, just because you're specifically going and performing there.
Yeah.
And I'd like to describe it because we haven't actually been there. So, let me show us where that is. So we are.
And Lorenzo, I'm off to perform.
Should we go watch her? Them?
Okay, so we're going to the Bright Quarter, which is over here. Boop.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh,
We have to go to watch them.
we do not. You can do whatever you want. To be honest, I think I would just as soon rest and get clean.
Oh, yes.
So, evening rolls over the streets as you are traveling there, and this is for Ashley at least, and so it's dark about halfway through Silverlight. You're traveling down. Let's see if I can zoom that in. that street. I think it's Demar or something. I can't quite see, but that street. I'm traveling down there through Silverlight, and as you're traveling, it's sort of dusk is falling, and then it's dark. It's just like pretty sudden because we're at the end of winter, but we're still dark fairly early. So as you're going through Silverlight, there's something that happens, and as you're approaching Bright Quarter, you realise that the reason for the name, the Bright Quarter, and that is because the street lamps of the Bright Quarter are constantly lit thanks to the constant supply of transmuted coal and soot coming out of Silverlight, the district that you are moving through. There is no darkness in the district streets, and you notice that people, as you enter the Bright Quarter, people are emerging from their homes as if they have just woken up. They're dressed for work, they're dressed to go, and maybe this seems a little odd to you, because it's night time. This is when you should be sleeping, right? But these people are just waking up as if they just got up out of bed.
Should be kind of like, huh. They don't seem like the kind of people who are going out to work at the bar like me, but no judgment. Maybe there's a nightlife around here that she's not aware of, and so she's just like, keeps going on their way and makes a mental note. Check in. Gotta come explore this place and see what the nightlife is like. Maybe after their performance and whatnot, before going back and sleeping for the night, they're gonna kind of wander these streets and see what are people up to.
Yeah, possibly that would be cool. And so, you make your way to the Skimble Shack.
The Skimble Shack. This name is just
I'd
awesome.
say hi to the twins.
So
Make
yes, the Goblin twins, Kurzog and Earmuck, they have both a telltale flat face, broad nose, pointed ears, and small fangs. These things are very common among goblins across the continent of Corvair. Their foreheads slope back, and they share an amber skin colour, these twins, with rose-coloured eyes. But this is where the similarities between the brother and sister cease. Kurzog is tall for a goblin, standing at 4'3", but he is incredibly thin. He is less ambitious than his sister, but has learned a great deal from her. While not being built for physical labour, Kurzog spends a lot of his time doing just that. He is moving about as you enter the Skimble Shack, and he is doing things like cooking, helping with horses. He's basically a porter and all sorts of different things, while Earmuck is relatively short, standing at 3'1", but has wanton womanly curves, making her stocky but not stout. She is studious, and as you enter, she is singing a little ditty.
Earmuck, dear, you all right?
Now, as I go to reply to you, I am just going to see what the accent for this is and see if I can actually do it. Otherwise, I'll describe what the accent is rather than doing it. But I'm just going to see what the accent is. It is feudal Japan. No, I cannot do that. So, yes, it is quite an Eastern accent that you are experiencing from these people.
What?
Huh?
Did you say people?
People. They're goblins. They're people.
Yeah, I heard people, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it's an Eastern accent that they're speaking. All right. Yeah. So and so yeah, you rock up. People. All of the patrons look pretty entertained by this song. She does an excellent job of the song, albeit you notice that she is definitely holding back. She's protecting her voice, and mostly. Do you know these two pretty well? What is your connection?
Um, Ashley's been working there as a entertainer. Like hosting comedy, maybe doing like lip sync dancing, and so, but like I'm not sure like quite, like how heavy fantasy is this versus like are we encroaching on like steampunk esque?
Um, it is. It's not high fantasy. We're
Uh-huh.
sort of talking sort of. Well, it's a little bit of high fantasy and a little bit of noir.
Uh-huh.
So there's a little there's elements of steampunk, but the steampunk elements are very much arcane focused. So there are airships and trains, but
Right,
the
right.
airship and trains aren't mechanical as much as they are arcane. They're magical in nature. But there's still like clock towers. There's still things like that. It's just less mechanics and more arcane.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, um, I'd say that's how Ashley came into being because I want to say that they've seen really old posters because they once were performers, right?
Yes, in fact,
And
she still
so,
is.
yeah, and so, I see Ashley being in this new town fairly recently and whatnot, and just like I gotta make a living somehow. And it's like, I like to dress up womanly, and I find that exciting and fun, and I can throw in some humor here, and I can entertain the crowd, I can talk to the crowd, I can sing, and so kind of putting on that genre and connecting with probably seeing Emma, I might be saying her name wrong, um, performing, like asking like, hey, do you like book any other performers or something? Because like I'd be down for working for tips or something, get more people coming in, give a variety, and like trying to charm their way into being able to like hopefully get something so that way they're off the street and
Mm,
have some food to eat.
yeah, for sure. Well, so they've just sort of finished singing the very iconic and self-written song, and you know the chorus extremely well because you've been there, um, quite often, and you know it goes Skibble Shack, the railway pub, the pub in the Skyrail train.
I know that song. I know the reference.
Yes.
Okay, and you said that she's not really giving her all. So I feel
Right.
like
That's because she's protecting her voice. She's an opera singer, and you know that she sings in the opera. She's getting on in age. She's not old, but she's getting on in age, and so she knows how to protect her voice. And you know, a raucous pub song can completely ruin your voice if you let it go. And so she's holding back because she's a performer and she's just protecting herself.
so. I guess where I'm getting at, it sounded like there may have been something a little off with her, or that Ashley was picking up on something that seemed out of character for her. But
No, you know that this is what she does. So unless
then,
it's the weekend, she lets loose then.
yeah,
But
yeah,
when she's working in the opera, which is She does hold back. So it is the start of the week, so she's holding back because of that. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong. She's cheery and
Yeah.
entertaining as much as she always is, and the patrons know.
Yeah.
The regular patrons know. And as you enter, there's a lot of people that sort of cheer as you enter because you've been hosting some events and things, and so
Yeah.
they recognise that you're here to even perform more entertainment, and so they all smile. Everyone's pretty happy. You perform, and everything goes pretty well. How long do you want your set to be?
2 hours, max 2 hours. And so I could see anywhere between an hour and 60 to 120 minutes would be
Okay.
roughly. Whether the crowd's dying down too soon or the crowd's not feeling her material or whatnot. And so I can see tonight though, because it's been a pretty busy day and they have things to do tomorrow. I think they're going to keep it closer to an hour, and so that way, whatever. But like in passing kind of conversation before they head back out, and yeah, and go to sleep for the night, and so.
Okay, when you come back to the okay, so as you're traveling through Silverlight.
Yeah, and of course, gotta. Almost forgot about that until walking back there. I was like, okay, what shops am I noticing now that I'm not so much distracted by the people per se?
You mean in the Bright Quarter? So the Bright Quarter, because that's what's open. That's what's bright. The Bright Quarter, basically everything's open.
It's New York City.
Yeah, I was just kind of fascinated and
Big apple.
whatnot, and it's just like trying not to get too distracted. But man, if there is any clothing shops or
Oh
wig shops or something, like as they're walking back, they are totally gonna be like, whoop, okay, I gotta go in here. This is a nice looking dress that I see in the display, or if there is a display, and we'll go in, probably peruse, probably if there's something really shiny and not too expensive, especially if it's like a thrift
Let me look
kind of
through.
situation. She'd probably be like, oh, I gotta get this dress, and or maybe the shoes or something. But yeah, I could see her nabbing something on the way back because she can't resist a pretty thing that hey, this will be a nice outfit, or I could put this character into play maybe.
Okay, just looking. So I've got a jewellery shop. I've got a musical shop. Is there something with clothing? Not here at the moment. There is a sensory emporium.
Sensory emporium, interesting. I'll have to think about that one.
What the
But I
hell?
think with the jewelry shop,
Yeah.
I think might there be like one of those jewel kind of chain headdress kind of things, like nothing like super extravagant, but it's like, oh, if I place this here, I kind of get like this cute jewel that hangs in the middle of my forehead. That maybe it's not too expensive. She don't even care if it's real jewels or not, but I'm wondering if like maybe something like that was visible.
So what you find, so you see a tree in this district, all lit up. There's lights all up the trunk that are coming out various windows. You notice that someone has basically hollowed it out and put windows all through, and it's sort of circular up there. There's all sorts of jewelry in the windows and stuff.
All right.
Going on inside, as you sort of tread up this first step, you notice that the tree sort of, it doesn't wobble, but it sort of adjusts to your very slight weight, and you notice that this tree is mobile. It can move when the person who owns the shop wants. You go on inside, and you come face to face with what I guess could be described as a bramble patch of a man.
I'm thinking, Tom. Oh gosh, Lord of the Rings wasn't featured.
Tom Bombadil, yeah.
So I don't know. That came to mind. Tom Bombadil for some reason.
Yes, sort of, but this guy is actually made of wood. He's an actual bramble patch who is awakened.
My character is kind of like, what are
Yeah.
you? Not to not to gawk or anything. I've never met anything quite like you. What is your name?
He says, I don't know what his accent would be, but he says his name is Urban Garden.
Urban Garden.
Yeah, Urban
Fine.
Garden.
Mr. Urban. This is fascinating. I just can't help but take you in. You are nothing I've ever seen before. And completely forgetting, like, oh yeah, I'm here to kind of like look around and see what the pretty jewelries are. Because there's a friggin' bramble bush talking.
Yeah. Yeah, but you find a bunch of things. You find a beautiful knife that's jeweled. You find a crown that's got fire, a glowing fire around the rim, but it's not hot. You see a staff that that it seems to be made of dark wood, and it has what looks like an eye in its clasp. You see an awesome mirror that's very pretty, and
So pretty.
you also, disturbingly, see a gem that at first glance looks like it's made from flesh.
Ew.
Oh! Alright, interesting. The crown, I think, would most catch blip 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 my character's eye.
Ashley?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. My brain decided to abandon me. Yeah, and how much does this crown cost?
You recognize that the stuff here it's very good quality. It's this particular piece. This glow is unlike anything that you've really seen. It's quite magical, and the price tag on this is 500 gold crowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ashley just kind of goes, whew, so pretty. Aspirations. I wonder if I can find a, in the meantime, a fake to allude to something as cool as that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have a bit of a look around, and you recognize that a lot of the items that are on display are reasonably expensive. The cheapest item on display is about 150, 160 gold. But you do see that there are mundane jewelries as well that are less prominently on display that you would be able to purchase if you want. And you said you were looking for what specifically?
Thinking like a simple kind of chain headdressy thing. I could look up a picture and submit it
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you would find
in Discord
one
here in a little bit.
for relatively,
Yeah.
okay. It's a mundane piece, so I'll figure out a price for it. But
Yeah.
it's not important to me as far as the price. It's just a little headdress. So
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And,
Hold it.
so we'll
Fine.
leave that there. We'll sort of you can purchase this little headdress. You can make your way through Bright Quarter, and everyone's just doing business as if it's day. As it's just day to them. So you make your way back.
Jet lag.
Yeah. You make your way back. Is everyone else asleep by the time that Ashley arrives? It's been about 2.5 hours.
At this point, I have taken a nap.
Yeah, I
I
think
have like a deep V-neck onesie kind of thing, and snoring.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I think if it's past 9 p.m.,
Yeah, it is.
Lynx is probably passed out. Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's an early riser, which is hilarious. I'm not. Why do I
Alright, well,
keep
you
playing?
notice Ashley come in, and she seems to be wearing. Would you be wearing this headdress?
So links up. You're like, hey, look what I found after the show. Also, this trick. Have you ever been to the insert name? It's pretty interesting. Everyone's just like they don't know what nighttime.
Sorry for the siren.
I can't hear it. So it's Urban Garden Jewelers.
Urban Garden Juice. And oh my goodness, shopkeep a friggin' bramble bush. Have you ever seen a bramble bush?
So I think they're talking to Lynx. I think Lynx is asleep. So you come in, you're talking, and Lynx isn't responding.
I mean, I guess I assumed we had separate rooms and that she'd be in her room.
No, we'd be in the same room.
Okay.
There's
she
only
probably
3 of us, so.
do that then. What?
Shut up!
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's pretty. Wait, what? Bramble? Something about a talking bramble.
Oh my god, I am so rude. Sorry, I'm just excited. Go back.
It's time to get up already.
No. Go back to bed. I'm sorry. Good night.
Yeah.
Good show. I
Yes.
did.
So after being slightly woken up by this, what seems to you like absolute nonsense coming out of Ashley's mouth, you managed to fall back to sleep.
Right.
And you can all have a good night's rest and awake in the morning. So I'm going to set the time at 24th. Alone, and it's going to be. What time do you want to get up?
Ashley's probably getting up around like 9-ish unless the party's like, hey, come on, got your
I'm up
coffee.
at 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Lynx is in the habit of being up really early so that she can be where people are needing to move around, before they are, so that she's in place and she's ready to go. So she's probably up at 5, like Lorenzo. Like,
Okay. So yeah, you guys can get up. We are going into this one, so it is Zol. Okay, go away. So good. It is 24th. Zol. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Zol, Tuesday. So I'll always have the in-game name and our name. So it's Tuesday, 24th of Olaroon now. Yeah, so it's fine to wake up at 5 or 6. What do you do at that time? Just have some brekkie or
I love that word, brekkie.
Brekkie.
breakfast?
I love it. Sorry, it's just like brekkie. Let's have some brekkie.
Yeah, I think Lynx probably has, just a little minimal wash up she does in the morning, and she probably goes outside and like stretches and stuff. She's probably in the habit of like eating on her way with her cart to somewhere, so
Mhm.
this is a luxury to get to maybe,
Just walk downstairs.
yeah, have had a maybe at least a bed to herself, and now she gets to relax in the morning until everybody's ready to go. She's like, she probably feels a little
Unless you get
fidgety,
impatient.
but yeah, I think she would have breakfast. I think she would just like relish that opportunity to.
Okay. So between 5 or 6 in the morning, it is bitingly cold. There is a light snow falling. It is it's light, but it is still bitingly cold. And the sea breeze is even sort of cooling that down further, because the sun hasn't risen yet. But you are able to have some breakfast, and it, like I said last time, the food is honest, home cooked. There's likely to be some. I don't know whether Lynx would be. Oh, I think she'd have experienced this, where they actually have some fish that is cooked for breakfast a lot of the time. Now we're not really that used to that, at least not here in Australia. Used to having that for dinner or something like that, but they're on the coast. It's part and parcel of a relatively staple breakfast, and it's cooked well. It's cooked as if it's a breakfast dish. There's also fresh fruit and cheese, those sorts of things. So good food, honest food.
Nice.
Nothing fancy. It's all just sort of standard, very much available locally, and so you can have that. And yeah, you notice on sort of waking up, moving about again, that all of the staff here are very, very pleasant. Now we met one of the staff, didn't we? Let's have a look. See if we've got that in our notes. I did not put it in the notes. Anyway, yeah. So the staff are very efficient. They're friendly. They know their job. They know their food. They know, and they tell you about some of the happenings around Throneport if you're interested. And yeah, and does Lorenzo come down at about the same time? Is his process a little bit different?
Lorenzo gets up, gets dressed, has a whole beauty routine he goes through. Again, I got up at 5, so I was up early. So I was probably down there eating with
Lynx?
Lynx. Like a basic meal. Like if there's like fruit and vegetables, I'll definitely go for that.
Sure is.
Morning, Lori. Lorenzo.
Lori.
Yeah, I had flashbacks to Little Women there for a second.
Oh shit.
Hi, it's a. Why am I switching accents? It is a very good morning.
Always a good morning when you wake up.
It's a good morning when your job is almost.
And then someone speaks and
Did you sleep well?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
You. You would have heard him toss and turn quite a bit. Sure.
Sure you did.
You want a sip?
You ever think about asking the apothecary for something to help you sleep?
What do you mean? I got plenty of sleep.
Okay.
He says that after taking a swig of liquor.
Okay.
There's plenty to help with sleep.
As you take a sip of liquor, you notice a glaring, well, not glaring, it's the wrong word. You notice a someone. You get that sort of creeping feeling up your neck of someone looking at you, and you look about, and you notice that the hostess, Carla, who you know, is like looking over the bench where she's serving with a critical eye, specifically squinted as you are taking a drink of liquor.
I take another big gulp and then put it away.
Okay. Perhaps she has bad memories and thinks that you haven't changed.
Both are correct.
All right. Otherwise,
I ignore-
everything's very pleasant.
Yeah, I try to focus on the conversation as much as possible, and Lorenzo 1000% like has not even looked Carla's way this entire time.
Right, yeah. Would you make a cool roll for me, blank, and see if see how. Actually, it wouldn't be a cool roll on your behalf, would it? It would probably be a perception check for links in this. So you can tell me, what do you think, Chris and those that have played? For a passive, being able to tell that Lorenzo is specifically not looking. Is that a cool check? I think that he's passively just doing it, so I think it would be a perception check, right? Against is cool. Against
Yeah.
So what is your ranks in cool, Lorenzo? What would this check be?
My ranking cool. I'm a 3-1.
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So let me set that. It is 3-1. Okay. Could you make me a perception check, Links?
Absolutely.
No.
Are you set for me to do that?
Sure am.
There we go.
Okay. So you haven't noticed, per se, but what you do notice is that that look from Carla coming over towards Lorenzo.
I guess you're mistaken. It's
What
weird.
what does that look?
It is a tut kind of look. It is a, oh, of course he would kind of look.
Okay.
he hasn't changed. A look of knowing is probably the best way to describe that. A look of knowing.
Wow.
But you don't notice that Lorenzo specifically isn't looking at her. So you do notice that she's because she's looking at your table. So you do get that thing, and you look over there. She's not looking directly at you. She's looking at your table, but she's looking at Lorenzo, and you notice the knowing look.
I'm trying to decide. Like, it looks like you have a friend or admirer or something over there. She's really giving you the eye. A little sus, but definitely giving you the eye. Over there, 2:00.
You know that one, the one. she's right there.
Have you ever got really drunk? Wait, why can't I keep an accent? Have you ever gotten really drunk and thought it was a good idea to have sex above a flight of stairs?
Lynx blushes a furious, like just a flaming red, and gets very flustered and embarrassed, and then tries to like compose herself. Because she realizes that her reaction just told you everything about her lack of experience. And so she like tries to compose herself and just kind of says, not a big drinker.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Completely realizing he said this in front of Lynx. Let's just say that should be it. That should be enough for you to know. To put two and two together.
Alrighty. Do you want to get out of here? Should we go somewhere?
There's not a place you can go in the city where I won't run into someone.
Oh, Lorenzo.
That's a great
Again,
line.
low cut man shirt still, like man titty hanging out, like normal stuff.
I cannot look at either one of them now, and I am staring very hard at my bowl of fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
He sucks on like one of the fruits and then bites into it.
Making a pop sound.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's just say I have a very good wing woman.
And that's referring to you, Lynx.
Seems I have a little to learn in that regard.
I think I am good with my younger sister. What can I say? Gets him every time.
Seeing you with me doesn't make them angry. You think they assume I'm your little sister?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
All right. So you have your breakfast, and very very late. Ashley comes wandering down. There's sleep in their eyes.
You guys are already awake, I see. What's for breakfast? Anything good?
Oh yeah, it was really delicious fish, and there's fruit and cheese and kind of just everything you could want. It's a little chilly this morning, but this is quite tasty.
Yeah, I need to get something warm in my belly because that makes getting out of bed even harder.
Well, they have this fancy thing that they've just brought out. So they bring out different dishes across the morning. They have this fancy thing. There's a steaming. I guess you would describe it as a cake. This is like a steaming cake, but it's like it looks like it's a crumb over something, and they've cut it, and you can see in the middle there's potato in there.
What is that?
And they come over and and the server says, "Oh, this is a hash brown, madame."
I guess I'll try that. It looks warm.
So it is crisp. It is crunchy, and the middle is soft and and luscious. It
Okay, and Ashley will eat that first one and be in heaven and kind of have this like little happy dance wiggle in their seat as they are enjoying themselves thoroughly.
Yeah, they've got two little dipping containers. One with like a cheese sauce, and one with I guess in the morning, what would it be? It would be like plum. It would be like a plum sauce.
Ash is gonna go back and see if they can get like 2 more servings and just be all like, I'm nice and toasty now, and I guess I'll go get rest and we can go about our day, go check in and see if the absent-minded has finished up anything or what progress they may have accomplished overnight.
That sounds good. Hey, did you say something about talking to a branch last night? A bramble, a tree?
So Ashley will like momentarily cock their head, just kind of like, huh? Oh no, yeah, it was a bramble. Yes, over in the Light District. If we insert correct name. Which by the way, they were acting like it was like midday, like right now. They were. Anyways, yeah, there was a bramble there, and I got this cool thing. Oh, I took it off. I'll show you later. Okay, I'm gonna go up and get freshened up, dressed. And I'll show you the cool thing. But yeah, it was a fascinating place. Yada yada. More rambling as Ashley now is trailing upstairs to go get ready and with excitement to show you the new tiara thingamabobber.
I look at Lorenzo. A bramble? What? What is she talking about? I
Look at
assume
me.
you've never seen a bramble person.
Yeah, unless you come from like a certain area, the Aldane Reaches, where there's an awakened druid who is a giant tree. It's probably unlikely.
Wait, are they similar to Spriggans?
Yes,
Or,
but
sorry,
this
Dryad.
is not. This
Similar to
is not
Dryad.
a race of people. This is
Okay.
an individual occurrence of people casting Awaken onto a tree or onto a plant.
Well, if it is anything like Dryads, let me just don't date them. Head splinters for weeks.
Oh, Lorenzo. Is there anyone you haven't dated?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, if I'm being honest, I don't date very often.
Sorry, Chris, your face.
That's great.
You
I
don't
love
date-
how this has like derailed the whole conversation of finding this great piece, and there's just like, whoa,
You don't date very often, but I see you with women all the time. That's not dating? And now she blushes again, realizing exactly what he meant.
yeah.
I
And
think I call you my good luck charm.
good luck.
Yeah, you
But you
realize
think I'm a
that,
repeat customer of your...
realize that every time that you've had him
You're
as a
right.
customer, it's been with a different woman.
Oh,
Okay. Gotta make money somehow.
So I guess we have a busy day ahead, huh?
Yes, Betty. Yes. Shall we be off enough about my... He takes another swig.
All right.
Tries to start walking out the door. Not in the correct direction.
All right.
All right.
Posting the picture and.
Am I going to absent-minded first?
Was Ashley's suggestion.
Okay. So we would go down the west side of Daroon Way. You can choose either Dawnbreak, Fragan's Arch, or Jarrah Garden to describe as we're making our way to the top of Westmarket.
I definitely already picked because I went to this Skimble Shack.
Yeah,
On break.
Dawnbreak.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same, so that's great.
Alright. Dawnbreak. Okay, let's have a look. Over here. And we are in the Thranish Zone. And Dawnbreak. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Sure. So, what you experience moving past Dawnbreak is, now, you know the sounds of fighting, but this is not the sounds of fighting that you would be very familiar with. Instead, imagine a western scene. Imagine a western scene full with ricocheting bullets, all sorts of weird and wonderful banging sounds. That is these arcane firearms going off in the distance. That is what you can hear as you move past. It's a completely foreign sound to you. And then you hear the sound of marching feet, and a bunch of uniformed guards march past. They are different guards than you've seen before in Throneport. Maybe Lynx may have seen them, potentially, being that you travel a little bit. But they kind of look like forest rangers. So it's less armored. At the best, it would be like padded shirts and things that just have a little bit of protection. None of this metal or leather or anything like that. You're looking at sort of padded, so yeah, they've got that. It's quite a dark forest green. That this is almost scouts. I don't know, almost like the scout uniform. So actually, they look very much like scouts, but they're adults. So they come on in, and they're clearly sort of marching towards the sound of this ensuing battle. Perhaps you're not sure exactly because you don't see it, but you hear it.
Wow. Wonder what that's all about.
Right, let's
Oh,
work
wow.
on the mission.
I didn't catch what you said, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is like picks up a quicker pace and tries to push Lynx further along, and gets behind her in like a very protective
We are not
stance.
slowing down for this.
Quickly, we must finish our mission. That's what it says.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright, so you make your way to West Market, and we change maps to Absinthe Minded. There we are. Oh, also, you've had a full night's rest, so you can refresh all of your strain and wounds to 0.
Yay.
Just noticed that you had some strain, and I was like, nope, no strain.
I totally forgot I had it, so I'll let you.
Yeah, we are feeling fresh. Yeah, so you come to this again. It's a really massive building. Totally, totally unlike so many alchemy shops around town. Most of the alchemy shops around town are little pokey places, right? Like you go in and they're like just it's all sort of jammed in. But here it's very open. It's made out of an old sort of fort building tower that's clearly been renovated and changed. So coming in here is very odd, but also the foot passage here is quite significant. People are going in and out. People are being taught different ways of proving alchemy ingredients. There's a herbalist who's got a book open demonstrating what a certain plant looks like and the properties of that plant. There's someone over there mixing something with something else. Yeah, there's a hive of activity in here. People, there's a lot of people in this room. Even though it's quite large, it is still relatively full of people. Everyone's talking relatively softly, so as not to make just a raucous, because it would just be so loud in here if everyone was talking loudly. But it's just a hum of activity and discourse.
This place is so amazing. And so good.
No, after you, he says.
Thank you.
Alright, and you can approach the counter where you will recognize the lady there.
Good morning.
Oh, hello. It is nice to see you again. Welcome back to Absinthe Minded. How may I help you?
Thank you. We came back to check on the goop we left you to be tested last night.
Oh, yes, the goop. Just let me pop into the back and I will get my notes. She quickly scoots into the back and comes out with her journal. She opens it to the appropriate page, and she sort of turns it around so that so that you're viewing it the way that you would normally read. She pushes it across the counter towards you. She puts her finger on where she's reading from. She's not reading what it says, but she's summarizing it, and she's sort of trailing her finger along where it's got her notes so that you can keep track of what she's saying. And so what she says is that there's a few odd things about this goo. Now, you, just as a reminder to me, you got some of the grey goo that was at the entrance. You got some from the first evidence of that this might be sort of something that's living that was kind of to the west, past the first group of people,
Right.
that burnt you when you tried to take it, and then was there any other ones? It was just those two
I think we ended up
samples.
getting one near the boiler too,
One near the boiler.
where it was.
Oh, where the bones
Yes.
were. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's three samples. She says that the grey one, she didn't really find out too much about the grey one. She says it looks like that all of these are the same thing, but the grey one's dead. She says it seems to her that they respond badly to salt. And so, because she experimented a little bit with it, and she took a portion of the most live one, the one that you found last, and did a few tests with it, and found out that salt was bad. It well, for it made it turn grey and die like the grey one. So that's something that she's found. She says that this goo, it can be dangerous. She says it seems like that it's like acid and it can corrode. But she says it's not corrosive to metal; it's corrosive to skin and biological matter. So there's that. She also says that while the amount that you got wasn't huge, she was able to identify a small amount of the component factors of this ooze. And what she has discovered is that there seems to be an admixture of magical reagents that seems to all have combined to create this. She says, as far as she can tell, it hasn't been manufactured. It looks like an accident to her.
Oh.
Right.
The different ingredients just don't make any sense why they would be together. And either like it doesn't seem as constructed as something that would mean that someone's made this on purpose. But maybe that's to foil the person that was identifying it. She's not entirely sure, but she tells you her gut feeling and her findings that these things seem to be random things that have mixed together probably by accident and created this. But she says it's not 100% guaranteed. Maybe someone's made this and covered their tracks. Unlikely is what she's saying.
Any idea why these substances would be used in a sewer? Are they?
She says that, well, they shouldn't be. They're not natural to a sewer. And she
Okay.
doesn't know what the different ingredients all have to do with each other. They don't. It doesn't make sense that they should be together.
Odd. Well, thank you. This was helpful.
Yeah, she says that she would be very careful around more examples of this, and that it could be dangerous.
You have a way to store large amounts of salt.
So she says, how large?
Cubic meter?
She thinks about that.
Barrel worth?
She says there are vats. You can get these bags. I don't have any, she says, but you can get these bags where you can open the bag and you can put stuff in there, but it doesn't weigh as much as it normally would. But they're quite expensive, she says.
How, how expensive are we talking? That sounds mighty convenient and useful.
Very, she says. I don't personally know exactly how much, but she does say, a simple example of that would be the sturdy satchel. And a sturdy satchel, she says, is worth... I think I've just been multiplying things by 10. So she says it'd be worth about 250 gold crowns.
Wow.
That is some money.
Well, I don't know about any of you, but I've never seen that kind of money in my pocket.
Well,
That's
your cloaks are worth 90.
Wow.
Ask her if I can buy like a small or like a hand, 2-hand size bag of salt off of her.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of salt. Yeah, you can get like up to like a kilo or a pound of salt if you want a pound
Sure.
of salt. Yeah,
I'll do that.
sure.
The only thing he got out of that is we can kill it with salt.
Right.
I mean, yeah, because there was such a small amount, she's been able to determine what materials it is, and I haven't broken it down to actual real life ingredients. I'm just telling you that she doesn't know how these things could be related. She doesn't know where they could all be together at this stage without more information. But she thinks that they shouldn't be together.
Seems like she's right.
Yeah, based on getting burnt, yeah.
Sounds like some weird Frankenstein adventure.
Yeah, I think maybe I think that Lynx will also just trying to look for where the heck did we find our sorry. I think maybe she'll get some too because yeah, that way if each of us has some on us, she's kind of thinking maybe that's not a bad idea.
Right.
Get up down there or anything.
A pound of salt. Let's say that it's a gold crown per pound.
Isn't our gold supposed? Oh, maybe it's on this sheet. It's yeah, there it is. 1 gold crown.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Right.
it's salt.
Got it. Yeah. Yep.
For one, we're on the sea.
Yeah.
It seems like a very common thing to have, right?
Right. An easily attainable thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's definitely sea salt. This is not rock salt that she has. This is definitely sea salt.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. So you get your salt. She says, "Be careful." She says, "If you find anything else that is alchemical, feel free to come back." She's pleased to see you. She doesn't have anything else for you at this stage. She asks if you've got any other questions before you leave.
Guys, didn't we have something else we're supposed to give back to her?
No.
No. Oh, okay, never mind.
There are people down there that were ill, and I think that was one of the reasons why Ashley was mentioning let's take this to the apothecary people because maybe we can figure out an antidote with it. But if it's so little,
Well, she says salt.
well, salt will kill the slime. But the people who seem sick by it, or am I remembering
So they
it
weren't
wrong?
sick. They were burned.
They were burned, yeah.
I think Ashley would then be like, well, okay, so the folks that have been burned down there, like you said, how it's corrosive to flesh. Do you have anything that might be of use, like a salve that they could put on to help? Just it looked rough.
Okay, so she has something that will ease the pain from burning, and she has like a special ointment that goes on the bottom side of a bandage that will assist with the healing process, but nothing that will actually, unlike like outside of spells, that will actually heal over a burn.
Yeah, actually,
It will be better than it is,
yeah,
but yeah.
actually would certainly be sold on the idea of like it'll help ease the pain. Like, okay, that's better than nothing.
Well, she says if you promise to help the people of Throneport, that she'll give you a small amount of it for free. Because, like, specifically, there's people down there that are getting hurt. So she says, take this, just use it for them, okay? Or for yourself if you happen to get hurt.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's nice to see people caring about each other and looking out for each other.
She says, oh, and if you happen to need rope, please visit my fiance's shop. She points down the street. She says, it's better not Hempier's.
Better not.
Yeah. So,
Better not, as in KNOT.
yes.
I love it.
Whoops, that is the wrong spelling of rope. And I'll put in here, is it Withriel? I better check that, yes it is. And so she has identified the goop. And I'll put into here what she said. So, is weak, dies when salt applied. Strange combination of magical ingredients. Probably an accident, but maybe created.
I mean, what kind of accident is this? Like, is this babies can be created by accident? What is that?
Well, again, she can't say. Like, it's where all of these things would be together. She can't think of something.
Yep.
All right. Very good. So we have our information.
Or actually, it's just like
What are you laughing about?
it's my comment where actually, like, I know babies can be made by accident, but how does goo get made by accident? Like, this just seems so. What's happening here? This sounds like that's weird.
Poor, yeah, and poor Lynx is like, accident.
Can you make some gooey, corrosive stuff? Like, and who was experimenting with something like that down by the water source? Like, it just seems negligible.
Negligent?
Too.
Yeah. She doesn't think it's good, that's for sure. Alright, so where are we? What are we doing next? We did say that, so we can meet with our engineer if you want to go back to the sewer.
Yes,
Alright,
100%.
so the only, so I've already established by canon, or by my canon, by Matt's canon, that the engineer is a Zalago gnome, but beyond that, I don't have any details. So, is this gnome a male or a female? Or something else? What gender is this gnome?
It is a gnome.
Male.
Sounds good.
Is a male gnome. what is his name?
Roberto.
Vando?
Roberto.
Oh, Roberto. Perfect.
Roberto.
As they are quite they are quite Italian in theme.
I thought I'd go for some absurdity a little bit. A little.
Roberto. Very good. And yeah, so that you meet Roberto,
Roberto the engine.
the engine.
The engine. Engineer, engine.
The
Dumb. You're on
the
it tonight.
engine. There we go. Cool. Mamma mia. I am Roberto. It is a pleasure to meet you. What is your need today?
I just need to stand here and listen to you talk. Can you like read me a story or something? You're amazing. You're adorable.
Oh, I thank you. The mighty Roberto strikes again. and he takes a pose, right?
You should come to the Skimmer Shack. We can do a show together. You're a hoot.
Oh, Roberto would be mighty pleased, but Roberto does not sing. He only poses. Ting!
Roberto supposes his poses are roses.
Roberto the engineer. Roberto the engine is an engineer.
Oh, I get my own theme song. Perfect. You can sing for me anytime. Anyway, what is it that you want? Beyond my magnificence, of course.
Well, we're supposed to take you through the sewers to show you this boiler that we found.
Well, that sounds stinky, but okay. I will go.
Not the nicest place we've ever been, but hey, you know.
As long as
Sometimes
you keep Roberto safe. Roberto say yes.
Holding up my halberd. That is my job.
He looks up. He's a gnome, right? So it's like 5 times the length of him nearly. So, oh, that is a mighty stick. With that little metal bit on the end. Yes, that will be fine.
It is good to know that I am satisfactory.
And he carries a toolbox, a big sort of toolbox with him, and he says, "Okay, lead the way." And you
Lovely.
can go to the sewer. Alright, so... back to
After we take the
the
boiler
sewer.
room for creamed.
Okay.
The big ones.
So, I will take us back here.
Right?
Why?
Like, what is with all the sirens? Our area. Period.
Yes. Having some...
Nothing like what? Let's see ya.
Okay, so, yeah, you trudge through the sewer again. You're coming to the top Y, and you remember to your east is a dead end where nothing was coming from, and to your west was where the boiler and where the ooze was a little bit more alive.
Did you look?
What?
I'm sorry. I will mute.
Okay. Sure. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so, yeah, we are heading west.
Let us just retrace our steps very carefully. And I'll just lead the way, just slowly moving, cautiously peeping around every corner, even though we've already been here.
Yep. Why? Sorry, I'm having trouble with something here. Come on. Do the thing. I might have to reload. Actually, while I'm reloading, let's take 2 minutes. I will put us on the Be Right Back screen, and then we will do our last half once I am back here. Alright? So, just a
Roger.
couple of minutes. Okay, I am back, and hopefully we'll have everybody in a minute. Hopefully this is fixed. No, it isn't. What is going on? Okay, it was on the wrong layer. Sure. Okay, should be on that layer. There we go. So it's going to go there. And we're going to go back to this layer, and we're going to put, I think Lorenzo would be ahead of the group.
Yeah, he
Yes.
said he was going to lead the way.
Okay. So nothing untoward as you're traveling through the sewer. Lorenzo, you turn around the corner to go south into the room with the boiler. And all of a sudden, Roberto shrieks.
Oh.
And he points at the water. Oh, mamma mia! Something is moving! And we have a... Okay. Alright, so none of us were expecting that.
No, we weren't.
So we are going to go onto our sheets here. Let us move our Game Master sheet over there. And let's move this sheet over here so that I don't flood the stream with them. And we have a it's vigilance when you do. Hang on, is it? Which way is it? Chris, is it vigilance when?
Please vigilance.
Hmm?
For initiative, yeah.
Yeah,
Usually.
when you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and cool for when you do know, right? To stay cool.
Right.
No, just double checking that. Alright, so you are making, now I need to make sure that my GM sheet is clear, so let us clear that. And you can roll initiatives. Yep, so we have a turn order there.
So we need you too, don't we?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll open my iPad.
And
Okay.
for some reason I haven't got
You right here.
story points either. Oh yeah, they're still there. Actually, I need to spend one of mine. There we go. And I'll force an update just to be sure that we're okay. And it's rolling stealth. Vigilance. I think that there should be an initiative button instead. Where is it though? Let me have a quick look.
We're unmuted.
Yeah, I thought there was an initiative button somewhere too, so. Maybe it's in character.
Okay, it is in weapons, talents, and powers.
Thank you. Oh yeah, there it is.
And there's cool if prepared, vigilance if unexpected. We should have had a look at that. Would you mind? So we'll roll again, but I will set it. It'll be 1, 2.
Oh, he wasn't ready.
You know, it's okay.
Yep, go ahead.
So 1 and 2. So both Ashley and Lynx will need to roll it again, please. And I'll get.
Chorus. We're going to the weapons.
So go to
Cool.
yep,
Talent.
and right
Combat.
there's and you're gonna
Boo, 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 boo. Okay, your turn.
okay now.
Boo, boo, boo.
C sheet. Vigilance if unexpected. Cool if prepared. We are cool if prepared.
Well, we're cool one way or another, but
Alright, so okay. It is going second then. Now, to refresh and to advise anybody that is watching the stream, in Genesis, we do not have a set initiative for each character individually. Instead, we have a pool of initiative, and we call that PC and NPC blocks. Basically, they're slots. And so what happens is any player character can nominate to act in a PC slot, which is a player character slot, and any enemy can nominate to act in any NPC slot, which is non-player character. Okay? And so what we have is we'll have a player character first, we'll have the Blightsewer Ooze next, and then we'll have the other two characters act. At the end of the round, all your order can change as long as you take a PC slot. Okay? So, as this thing rises from the sewer, it will try to grab onto Roberto.
Rude.
Because, you know, it's an escort mission and of course it would go wrong.
Of course.
And so...
Who said it? Who said what could go wrong?
Okay, so it will rise from the sewer for a maneuver, and then it's going to downgrade an action to 2 maneuvers. Well, it has an extra maneuver, so it'll downgrade an action to another maneuver, and so it will spend a maneuver to get up and 2 maneuvers to try to engulf Roberto. Roberto must succeed an average athletics or coordination check. Okay. Athletics or coordination. It'll be coordination. And Roberto is not good at either of these things. Okay, so off he goes. Oh. Okay. Roberto
Mia.
is currently engulfed. He is immobilized by the sewer ooze. And you can see his skin starting to fester with bubbles as the acidic insides are corroding his skin.
That's gross.
We have a player character. Who would like to act?
Lynx'll act. She pulls out that salt and grabs a fistful of it and throws it at this beast, at this thing.
Okay.
So that's gonna be just like an unarmed. Let's see, where is that? Would that be?
Girl.
Mm.
There you go, girl.
I guess that's just gonna be what, athletics or something. Coordination.
Yeah, you can use either of those. It's fine.
Hey,
Good idea.
let's see. Guess I'll use
Thank you.
coordination.
Okay.
Oh, way down there. Oh, well, that's interesting. And probably very logical, considering all she did was throw salt.
Yeah. All right. Very good. So, yes, this salt. So I mean, it's a surprise. You see this thing emerging. You see it starting to wrap itself around Roberto. You quickly fumble in your pack. You grab your salt. You throw it. And unfortunately, the sewer is already the ooze is already sort of engulfing Roberto, and the square that it was just in, the place that it was just in, it has left. So you unfortunately don't get it on this particular attack attempt, but we have 4 advantages for you, which is a lot. So there's lots of things that we can do here. So let me bring up my cheat sheet and tell you some of the things that we could do. So with all 4, if you wanted to use all 4, you could do something like activate an item quality. You could negate the enemy's defense if they have any. You could ignore penalizing environment. There's no penalizing environment at the moment. When dealing damage, we're not dealing damage. You could gain a melee or ranged defense for yourself. You could force the target to drop a melee or ranged weapon, but it's not wielding anything. You could...
It is wielding our friend.
It's not wielding him. It is engulfing him.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say this is not a chance to do that. You could add a blue die to any allied character's check, including yourself, for 2 advantages. You could notice something with 3. So lots of different things. Or you can think of something. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be something like 4 advantages to try and rest Roberto free or something. Because that's 4 is a lot.
Right. 4 is a lot. Yeah.
Because your attempt was the salt, and the salt
Right.
hasn't worked. But perhaps it has. You could spend the 4 to say that it moved extra fast when it saw you throw it, right? And maybe it's
Right.
like potential. I'm gonna make it. If you want, I can make a save. It will be a save effect to try and continue to hold on to Roberto, or accidentally overshoot him, if you like, or we can choose something else.
I think I like maybe giving. I like that idea. Mary just said maybe giving Roberto advantage to escape, like give him a...
Yeah, you can give him 2 boosts if you use all forces. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's give 4 boosts to Roberto.
It's 2 boosts.
Or, yeah, 2 boosts, sorry. And I'll pull out my knife, and I think I'll start moving toward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's kind of perfect. Why don't I'll go to him and I'll try to help release him.
Yeah, gotcha. Perfect. Cool. So, let me see what the ooze does. And I'll do Roberto on the ooze's turn, so it'll be the ooze and then Roberto, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, it is just going to. No, it sees that, you've chucked something at it. It's going to try and make a pseudopod attack with its oozy tentacle. So this is going against Lynx.
Okay.
Now, it is a standard difficulty of 2. Do you have any defense?
I don't believe I do.
Okay.
I do not have any talents that will help. So I think it's just whatever I'm wearing is only. So no defense.
Oh,
Ooh.
it rolls badly. Very badly, actually. That is a terrible roll. So I guess it's too focused, I guess, on trying to absorb Roberto and stay focused on digesting him. He does not succeed on hitting you with this. So this big sort of oozy tentacle come out of the mass and will just sort of try to slam up against you. You dodge out of the way, and just Ica, I suppose not Ica, but Slime basically just slams against the rock wall of the sewer and just splatters, and the tentacle slams down on the ground, narrowly missing you with that. And then Roberto will try to escape. You've given him 2 boosts. And it's against... Is it against anything? How do I do this? Do you know, Chris, or do I look this up?
I honestly don't know. I guess he would just he would probably roll it against the thing's coordination.
Genesis RPG grapple. It's basically a grapple.
Yeah.
Page 67 on the form of brawl check. Just seeing what we have. Depends. Opposed checks. Okay, opposed checks. Throw in the option of using coordinate for the escapee. Yeah, so it's okay. We oppose. So the Roberto will have that. He's got 2 boosts. So this is his. It's no. So that's his. And then we clear.
Nice.
And then we get the sewer ooze, who rolls. I guess it would be athletics.
Why not?
Boop. Oh! Well, technically, Roberto gets out.
Nice. Nicely done, Roberto.
Wow, that's so many advantages. But in this case, they don't apply because it's an opposed check. So he doesn't get to spend them, thankfully.
Nice.
He can give himself boosts.
What's that?
He can give himself boosts. The
Yeah.
next roll.
It will be 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So yeah, the Roberto will rest himself free. Who will take a breath. Oh, mamma mia! Where did that come from? Kill it!
Right, that's what I was thinking. And he will
Yep, it's yours.
take his halberd and go for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I slice the darkness.
Let's see, do I have a...
This is one of his advantages, because
Yeah.
We'll have some sewer noise in the background.
Wait, are you hearing noise from me in the background?
No, no, no. I'm putting some sewer noise in the background.
Okay.
Some ambiance.
You need some food, baby? Here. That's probably fill up your water.
So you are trying to attack. It is 2 difficulty. Does the ooze have a defense? I believe the answer to that is no, but I'll double check. It does not. So it is just 2 difficulty, which I have set.
Oh, for some reason, I thought... Here it is. Okay.
Nice. So
Oh, it has Pierce 2 as well. So I get, I believe I negate 2 reduction.
you do, yes.
2 soak.
Okay, so we'll do that first. So it did have. I like being informative because my players, thankfully, do not metagame. And so I'll tell you that the ooze has 4 soak, so you ignore 2 of that. So it would normally block 2 of your damage. You're doing 4 damage, so it takes 2 damage. No, it takes 4 damage because you are blocking. Yeah. Cool. And then you've got reach, defensive, and you take a point of strain as as you sort of dodge the writhing tentacles that are sort of emerging to try and defend itself.
Gotcha.
Anything else on your turn? It would just be maneuvers at this point.
I believe I can guard as a maneuver, or it may be 2 maneuvers. In a minute. I think it just adds either a setback to the end.
Yeah, I think it's just a maneuver to do that. I believe so. You can add a black setback to any attacks against you, and we have Ashley last.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so actually seeing everyone jump into action, especially poor Roberto getting caught up there for a moment. Likes what Lynx did. It's like, yeah, I got a bag of salts, and we'll whip that out to go toss. But maneuvering so hopefully Roberto don't get no splash damage because salt in the wounds, and that's not good. So let's see how successful that is. What role would that be?
To try and throw salt on it.
Yeah.
We said coordination.
All right, skills. Cool.
And
Yeah, you do pretty good with that.
let's just see. Yeah, you just rolled flat. It will be against its normal defense. So yeah.
So in 3, 2, 1, rolling.
Okay. So again, we don't succeed there.
Expressive creature. Hopefully, I've made at least a nice floor bed of salt with lynxes.
Yeah.
Throwing it, and it's just like just a little drafty. And so instead of hitting the darn thing, it's like falling just in front of it and coating the floor in salt.
Nice.
Very nice. Just seeing if I've got. I'll just use. There he is.
That was better in my head.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you got an advantage to spend. You don't have any strain to heal. I don't think there's very much you can do. You can give the next person a boost.
Totally.
Okay.
Next person to go gets a boost. Besides the
Yes.
slime thing.
It is the start of the round, which means that you can nominate someone different to go first if you like.
And so, let's use those skills of yours to get that slime to move over the salt. And slice and dice it too, okay?
I mean, I'll try my best.
You've got this, Lorenzo. We believe in you.
Our friendship.
Lorenzo stabs deep into it.
Boop.
Are you already adding the boost, or do I need to add?
I will add the boost. There you are.
All right, I'll roll.
Oof. We're not getting really good results on our die.
Oh my jeez.
You think the lady at the apothecary got it wrong? And they were just trying to get us to buy more salt?
I mean, you didn't try to negotiate, nor did you try to see if she was lying. So
That's kind of where Ashley's brain is going.
we do have 3 advantages to spend, though.
One to heal a strain, and then the other 2 I will give a boost.
Okay, very good. To whom?
To Lee.
To Lynx. The Blight Sewer Ooze will again focus its attention on Roberto.
Poor Roberto.
It spends 2 maneuvers downgrading an action. Or do I spend the 2 maneuvers and attack? Yeah, let's do that. It will spend 2 maneuvers, taking some damage.
You had
So-
one jump.
Tries to absorb Roberto again. Roberto will make his check.
Yo, that work? I think so.
Is average, yep. Oh, this time Roberto succeeds.
Yay! Salute!
So it does not get absorbed. And the creature will try to. I think it sees the 2 people with salt and sees this big halberd. Don't know who I'm going against. I'm gonna just do this randomly. So it'll be 1, 2, Ashley, 3, 4, Lynx, 5, 6, Lorenzo. It is against Ashley that this attack will resolve.
Not their beautiful face.
And so here it goes with its pseudopod. Zoop. Ooh, ow.
Whoa!
Okay, this time it does manage to hit you, Ashley. That is going to be a lot of damage too. That is 8 less your soak.
Let's see here. Character sheet, wound, strain, soak. So 8 minus soak.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be 6.
Okay, you take 6 as this tentacle rises up, slams into you, and you just feel ooze all over your skin. You feel icky. It's hit your shoulder, and your shoulder feels like it's gonna cave in. As it doesn't quite break your bones, but it's certainly making you sort of lop to one side. And yeah, the tentacle just sort of flicks against your chest as it slides down, and just ooze covers your
I imagine,
shoulder and torso.
just being dragged across Ashley's body at the moment. And Ashley is just screaming, just like stumbling back.
Mm-hmm. For your information, when it comes back to the sewer ooze's turn, you will also take burn damage as acid is burning your skin. Now, the burn damage, I believe, does not. It doesn't ignore soak. Is that right? Let me double check that. I think it still caters in the soak. Genesis burn damage.
Ouchies.
You go get this.
I'm gonna say that soak applies because this is gonna be a lot of damage. So yes, you are burning. It is horrific. And Roberto. Oh, get out of the way. What do I do? Let's go into the tunnel. So he moves, and I said 3 per maneuver. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He goes into the tunnel.
Nice.
'Cause that's terrifying. Play a character. So
I think I'm the only one left.
there are 2 of you. It's only Lorenzo, I believe, that is. Yeah, it's only Lorenzo this round that's acted.
Oh, so do you want to go, Mary, or
Yeah, I'm distracted at the moment.
should I?
Shit.
All right. So Lynx is gonna try to cut that tentacle off with her knife.
Sure. Yep, I am set. There's no boosts. No, you did get a boost.
Yep.
So 1 boost there.
Where the heck is the? Yeah, right here. Right here. I found it. Okay.
Oh,
This thing is so hard to hit. Slimy
It's-
bastard.
oh well. There's another advantage because the black. Your setback's meant to be there. Yeah.
Hey.
Setback isn't meant to be there. What's that for?
Oops.
Yeah, just make sure you take that out. So there's 4 advantages.
Where'd that setback come from?
Not sure. I will clear out mine, make sure it's not from here.
Yeah, it's definitely not on my end.
Okay.
Do I need to re-roll then, or?
No, it's fine. It's just another
Okay.
advantage.
The advantages. I guess, I mean, those just need to go to the next person.
Okay, so four
Yeah.
boosts
I need
to
it.
whoever's next.
Which I
Will
hold
hopefully
on,
be.
So how do
Yeah.
you do that? So what do, like let's say that narratively. Let's not just pass boosts.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the advantage is that it's distracted on me now
Sure.
because I've tried to cut it. So it's busy evading me, and it's now
Not paying attention to.
not paying attention to anybody else.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Slice it
Ash-
go off.
Ashley, so you take 4 points of burn damage.
Minus soak.
So your soak was 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do minus soak.
All right. I'm at.
All right. So yeah, you're burning. You're no longer burning because it's only for 1 round. but that smarts as your skin starts to fester with boils and bubbles. What do you want to do?
I think realistically, Ashley just wants to curl up and die a little bit.
We do have story points, remember? So, and you do have 4 boosts here.
Ooh. Story points. I wonder. No, it probably takes too much thought process. Being like, maybe there's an old pail or something that Ashley could more easily scoop up the sand that they can to like walk in, or at least more onto the tentacle that's probably nearest her. Just pour that salt like directly on.
Yeah.
But I feel like if anything, it's to at least establish an idea. Will this thing be like, if salt does touch it, does it have any impact?
So what you've been told by Withriel
Mm-hmm.
is
Salt
that when she applied salt, it basically died. The bit that she applied it to died. It became the grey inert ooze. Now
Yeah.
this is extremely vibrant. This one, like it's bright sort of green. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So 2 bags of salt have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
She's just getting as big of a scoop in her hand, fighting through the pain because, well, we're up and personal now with this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just goes to dump the salt directly on.
All right. So I don't mind if you roll an attack. It'll just be different damage, or you can make it a coordination check.
Let's see.
It's whatever's better. I don't mind because technically,
Well, so for attack, is there a separate attack only?
it would
Because
just
I have
be melee light.
melee. Okay, skills.
So I don't know what's better for you. So you can choose either because you're in melee range.
It's gonna mean
I've
you're
set your difficulty, so you're all set on my end.
too green.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
And you have a
Oh wow!
Oh, look at you! Look at
Please
you
tell me
in
that
that clutch.
thing bubbles.
Right, as your skin burns, you put your hand in the salt and you're just like, nope. And I reckon you wrap your hands around its tentacle as it's withdrawing from you, and it sort of pulls away, and the salt just coats its entire arm as it pulls away.
Ooh, I like that idea.
And so so the salt, it normally would do 5 points of damage, but that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage less its soak. So it takes 6.
We'll take it.
Oops. Plus
It does work.
6. And a whole section, that whole arm that coated just falls off and turns grey.
Yeah, cool.
You've got 3
Nice.
advantages.
And advantages can a thought in my head, since Lorenzo is swinging with his halberd.
Mm-hmm.
Might the area we're in be maybe just a little bit wet, or maybe near Lorenzo there is a puddle that some of that salt's got soaked. So maybe if he puts his blade in and hacks, it delivers some salt as well as piercing.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it guys giving Lorenzo an advantage?
So you could give him an advantage, or I would allow that you give him effectively what would be an aim. So it would be a setback, but if you do succeed, you would apply salt.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. So I'm gonna, whenever it comes back to his turn. And
So use the story point, man.
No pressure.
no pressure.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So I'm giving you a setback.
Yep.
It's normal difficulty of 2, but if you do succeed with whatever you spend here, you will apply salt on top of your normal damage.
Roger.
Do you want to spend a story point? It's up to you.
I will.
Cool. I will get you to press that button for me, and I will upgrade you.
So I'm at 3 yellows.
I've upgraded you. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're set on my end.
Am I good?
Yeah. You certainly are.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo just shouts, "Way to go, Ashley. We have confirmed it works." So he tries to specifically like drag his the end of his halberd through the muck where some of the salt fell on,
Yeah.
and then stab. So it's like a down and then up motion, like he's shoveling hay.
That's great.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. That is a success. That is a triumph.
That's a triumph. Yeah, baby.
Getting a triumph is just 1 extra damage, right?
So actually, there's 4. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just a triumph. There's no success there. Because there's 4 failures and 3 successes. The triumph counts as a success to make it 4, so it's even. So there's no damage here, but there is a triumph effect, which means that I'll tell you what you can do. Triumph is, if you have a triumph, activate an item quality, activate a critical, upgrade the difficulty of the targeted character's check, upgrade the ability of an allied character's check, do something vital, learn a motivation. I mean, you don't think,
Can I just say that the salt takes effect?
yes, sure, let's go. So it does 5 damage, less the soak, but it's already had salt this round, so it's 5 damage. This thing, so yeah, instead of hitting it, you instead flick the salt water with your halberd, and it sort of splashes it, and half of this ooze just sloughs off it and sinks into the water, grey. It's only half its size, in fact. Boop. It is now medium-sized.
Oh, nice.
And I am going to, because half of it's gone, reduce its brawn by 1. Okay? Just for
Nice.
story purposes. Because that's fun. I like doing things like that. And I think that is up to the creature then. Unless you wanted to try and move away as well.
Well, I will use, because I'm allowed to do it once per turn. my coordinated assault.
Okay.
So I'm assuming everyone else is engaged with it.
Not anymore.
Oh, I see, because it stopped being large. And well, it would be Ashley who's still engaged with it, correct?
Yeah, so you cut your half off. So yes, it would be either. I would allow you to choose. It can be either in Lynx's reach or in Ashley's reach, whichever you prefer.
We'll just say links, and then I will
Lynx. Yeah.
use targeted assault. Say, aim for this spot. Aim for this spot where Ashley burned away its arm. And they'll get a free advantage
Okay.
on all combat checks made toward it.
Yep. So Lynx, it'll be your turn after its, and you'll get that. Its turn
Nice.
is now. It will try to hit you, Lynx.
Of course it will.
Alright. So off it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
It fails. It's got 4 advantages. So it winds itself up. And you know what? It is going to get a free maneuver. And it'll move into the tunnel.
That jerk.
Fizzle.
It
Following
really
after
was.
Roberto, and Roberto's like, ah! Mamma mia! As he scoots off, Lynx, it is your turn. It would require 2 maneuvers to get to it.
I'm going to use them. I'm running for Roberto, and I'm gonna try to stab it in the back.
You have an advantage that I have put in from Lorenzo with coordinated assault.
Okay. And where's? I'll make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, this one.
No,
Oh,
there's still a setback there.
I am terrible.
I'm gonna check your dice pool.
Am I- oh.
I'm just gonna clear it, make sure. That's okay. Alright, so either way,
Where did the black keep coming from?
I don't know. There's a failure there anyway. It doesn't come from the black, so you don't take that setback because the setback came from there. So you don't take the threat. But there's just a failure. So yeah, you don't hit, unfortunately. And we have Ashley. Again, it would take two maneuvers to get to it, meaning 2 strain. So I'll add 2 strain to you, Lynx.
Oh, thank
I
you.
think Ashley is gonna be more like, yeah, you guys go pursue it. I'm going to focus on seeing how much of the salt I can scoop back up into my salt bag, and I will hobble along later. So, like, maybe
Poor Ashley.
one action for scooping up some salt,
Sure.
and another for moving halfway towards the group in the direction the group is going.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep. Alright, we're back to the start of initiative. Lynx, do you want to try and finish it off again?
Yeah. She's determined. If she's nothing if not determined, she's gonna try again to do that. We still have story points. Can I?
You may spend one.
Hey,
I can upgrade it for you.
I would like to do that. Yes.
Go ahead
So
and
you.
press the button.
There we go. Well,
Yep,
it says
so
it did it.
I have
Okay.
upgraded, so you are ready to go.
Come on.
Wow. Apparently, you've just forgotten.
I just have absolutely no skill with this knife.
So,
It's just-
Lynx, with those two threats, I'm going to make you fall flat on your bottom in the water. You are going to be neck deep in sewer water. As you slip over, and it is the creature's turn, and it's going to move to there. It cannot go further than that because it does not have enough health.
know how to open the door.
So we have Lorenzo and Ashley. Whichever one would like to go first. You see that the ooze has made its way into the room. Actually, Lorenzo would have closed the door behind him, so it is here. He cannot go through the door.
Well, I think Ashley would at least continue to move up, not in any seriously rushed speed or anything. But once again, get right up there in that slime's business sort of safely to hopefully have a successful dump of salt.
Yep. Do you want to do that in melee or from range?
Because the range didn't work so good.
Okay, so yeah, you'll move up.
And I'm going to use coordination since that has better dice. So I get advantage. So I got 3 advantages, so it's like.
Wow, it's been so hard to get this thing. It just keeps on slithering away. Lorenzo.
I give the advantage to myself by being like, hang on. Realistically, if salt got into Ashley's wounds, how much damage do you think that would cause? Or
It would.
Great.
It would.
Not
It would hurt, but it is not damage.
Okay, cool. Because I think Ashley, if I can use those advantages or whatever, or however you think this would work for, the next idea is like, shoot, I'm right here. This thing's gonna get me. I'm just going to, with my sweat and whatnot, just clamminess from being burnt really bad, just try and smother
Yeah.
self in salt. So if that thing
Get a-
reaches out for her,
Yeah.
they're gonna burn themselves.
Okay. Sounds good. Lorenzo, you have reach with your halberd if you want to get in there.
I'll get in there. I believe I have to take 2 strain.
Yes. And Ashley would have had to as well, so I'll put 2 strain on.
Alright, thank you.
I can put 2 strain on myself. There we go.
Cool.
And then I will thwack it.
Hang on.
So,
Yep. I am set for you.
Alright.
Come on, we can do this.
come on, Lorenzo.
That is another triumph. No success.
Well, triumph counts as a success.
Yeah, but there's a failure. There's no extra success, remember. So if there was another success there, it would. The
Something really, really, really good happened, but it's not.
yeah.
Texas says.
I mean, it's trapped.
I'll just back it to a corner and just give someone.
Raised ability.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Then it is whoever's turn. It can be you as well because it is a new round. I am upgrading it.
Go for it.
So whoever wants to try and take the killing blow.
Ashley's more prepared for if the thing goes after them. So someone else.
And they've got a boost as well.
All right. Well, Lynx is pissed now. She's been covered in goo in this disgusting sewer water. She keeps missing this thing. She's gonna just charge with her knife one more time. Well, yet again, I should say, and just try to slice this thing.
Alright, make that check. I've set your difficulty. There you go. So
Finally.
dripping with sewer water, you elbow past Lorenzo and Ashley brandishing your knife. You thrust it at the creature who has been forced into the corner, and the creature will stop moving. It will slough onto the ground, and seep into the tunnel, now completely dead.
I thought we were never gonna kill that thing.
Saudi, I'm Saudi.
You were great. You were all brilliant, and I couldn't. I need some more training. Need to learn how to use this thing.
Way to go, Lynx.
Awesome work. You managed to open the door and make your way in to see Roberto quivering in the corner. Oh, mamma mia, did you kill it? Did you kill it?
Finally.
Oh, you look a bit beaten up.
It's all sewage.
This looks like a fine place for a rest. I will get on to making this thing work if you wish. It is boiler. It is it looks hang on, and he sort of rubs a section of the boiler and reveals like its identification number. Ah yes, the old BO795N. Yes, it is an old machine, but I can make it work. If you wish, I can have the sewer flushed of all that. It would be boiling water. I think you would need to make sure there were nobody in here. Otherwise, it would be, well, not pleasant.
I'm already on it, and he's walking out, and Lorenzo's just laser focused on getting to that group of people.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
You make your way. Are you going straight back to the others, or did you want to explore any of the other rooms?
Ashley is like, if you guys go with, I'm just gonna lay here. I like the idea. Good place to rest.
Who has the cream? Maybe you should put some of it on you before we leave.
But I get to go back. Let's find those people. They need this first.
Okay. So you're making your way back to the entrance where all of the people were?
Yep.
Let me drag you down there.
Oh.
Boop.
They'd have it already.
So you can let them know as you're doing that and kind of sort of coming back, unless you want to role play it, which I'm okay with. You would let me check on that first. Did you want to role play anything with these people other than telling them to get the heck out?
I was just telling them to get the heck out.
Just tell them to get up.
Yeah, as you're moving your way back north to let Roberto know that it's safe, you do hear, as you're coming this way, you do hear the sounds of laughter coming from just beyond this entrance here, which you haven't been yet.
I'll attempt to stealth into it a little bit.
Sure. You may roll stealth if you wish to stealth.
Out of my element. Alright.
It's just a flat check.
Yeah, where's the stealth? There it is.
Yep.
Oh.
Hang on, let me just mute this.
When I have all the dice, I get nothing, but when I have no dice, I get
Right?
You get all the things. You are very stealthy, Lorenzo.
He's screwed.
Where are we? That one. Okay. As you round the corner, you stick your head around the corner. You see various fires with people huddled around each. These folk seem to be laughing, smiling, seem pretty friendly, at least to each other. They don't notice you, so they don't turn or do anything, but they seem pretty friendly just by what you see. They have pots, pans, cups and plates made out of what seems to be iron, but glints blue in the torchlight and in the firelight. And they also have a number of water purifiers set up around the room.
Like water purifiers for the slime or just in general?
Unsure. They're just standard water purifiers. Think there's a little device. It has the filter that goes into it. Yeah, and you just pour water in the top, and the filter filters out stuff, and then it becomes more pure.
Where is that laugh coming from?
Didn't catch that.
Where was that laugh coming from?
It's from these people.
I see.
Oh, it's this room, and then yeah, it's down here. Whoop, up, yeah, there you go. Yeah, and the others, are you following Lorenzo?
Yes, slowly, sorta.
Don't know that he's sneaking off. I don't know that I want to blow his cover.
All right.
That's a
Then
good point.
You let him go in. Obviously, when you round the corner, Lorenzo, people will start to notice you. You can only sort of stealth when people don't have a clear line of sight to you. And you know they'll see you. They're like, they beckon you in. They welcome you to the fire. They say, "Come and take a load off." One of them hands you a cup with some purified water in it.
I just tell them, you must get out of here immediately.
If we're close enough to hear him speak, I would close in enough to be there as a backup.
Oh, why do you want us to leave? This is a perfectly reasonable living situation.
Just for an hour or more. Just for an hour or more.
That's not so bad, I suppose. What do you think? Shall we leave for an hour? Are you going to loot our stuff?
No, not grab your stuff and follow me. The sewers are about to be cleaned out. Boiling water is going to pour out through here.
Oh,
We must
my.
leave at once.
Oh, well, yes, we will. They immediately start packing their stuff and ready to move. They say, "Oh, well, you've done us a favor by telling us what is going on. Please, take this." And the man will thrust a water purifier into your hands.
Oh. Are you sure you do not need this?
Oh, it is nothing. We make them every day. That is our job.
You see.
There are many. And before you go, if you want, we have more ore that we make into these things. It is in the next room. You can take 1 or 2 pieces. Just don't get too greedy.
I'll just take 2.
Okay. And then they will make their way out, and you can report back to Roberto that everyone has gotten out. You've searched thoroughly. You check all of the rooms, make sure everybody's left, and he will set the machine running. It involves a long process of all sorts of steps that he does. There's a number of different fuels that are in the room that he adds, and different combinations of things, but he eventually gets it going, and it cleans the sewer out. And you managed to do that. Let me take you back to him. And as he sort of powers the device back down again, once everything's been rinsed and washed, he says, well, that should do it. There shouldn't be anything left alive. Might I recommend that you just explore the rest of the sewer. It shouldn't go too much further. And just make sure that everything is good, and if there's anything left for your investigations. But everything should be dead.
I think Ashley could have some protest if looking at her party, and it's like, if you do check, do so very carefully, because I don't want to have to, if there's anything more we have to physically deal with. I'm not sure if I have that stamina. I really hurt, and I really want to get out of here.
Alright, so do you want to explore the rest? It'll take 5 minutes of game time.
Lorenzo will move ahead, even if a little bit alone. Just rest here, Ashley.
Yeah. Basically just advising, like, not that, it's like, there's that, explore in case there is something else that needs to be reported, but please be very careful about it, because I'll feel guilty if you guys got into some serious trouble or hurt, and, like, where it's like, I'm tapping out, y'all.
Yeah.
The scar where their nipple would be. You're like, it's fine. I have dodged worse dangers.
Well, I guess we should do that then, and we'll come back. We'll come back and we'll leave together.
All right. Be safe. Quick.
Okay, after clearing out all the people, after clearing, and washes the sewer clean. Okay, so you finally, for Lorenzo, you come to the location of the source of the water flow to the rest of this section of sewer. It's just up here, don't worry about it. It's just, it's just a location. You see the flow of the water coming out of a pipe, and you see a concrete plate beyond that. That seems to be etched with some with some words. You can approach and just barely make them out. So the sewer grate where the polluted water empties into the sewer is marked with a plate. It reads, Creative Waste Solutions Proprietary Limited, Pty Ltd. There is an inscription below the name of the company that is even harder to decipher. I need a skill check here. So you can make perception, or is there anything else that we can use to decipher writing? Let's have a look at the skills.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah, you could make a knowledge check or a perception check. Your choice, Lorenzo. It is, let me set this. It is average. Go ahead when you're ready.
I will choose knowledge, and I'll spend a story point.
Sure.
Nice. Nice.
Upgrade.
Should give me 3 green total.
Alright, let's see.
Alright.
Oof. 1, 2. What is your knowledge normally?
2.
And you've upgraded it to a yellow.
Oh, I upgraded once. That's right. Sorry. I thought it was 2. Stupid.
Okay.
So yeah, it'd be a
you
green
haven't
and yellow.
managed to read it, but yeah, you could recover some strain.
I was thinking real hard. Lorenzo realizes that this isn't his strong suit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you do read creative waste solutions, but you can't read what else it says.
It is 2-1 I'll
Um,
head down south this direction for a little. Well, never mind.
It effectively it's the end of the sewer. Like this is all that there is.
So I'll just come back to them, tell them what I found. That's it.
Cool. With that,
I thought we went together.
yeah, if you wanted to go together, yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I misunderstood you. You
The
can.
the two of us. We left Ashley, so
Okay. You can
Um,
make a check too.
okay, cause yeah.
Sorry,
all
I
right.
misunderstood.
That's okay. That's okay. It happens, and I didn't catch it until now that you didn't realize that.
Lorenzo-
Am I set to go?
Yeah, you would have 2 boosts if yeah,
Okay.
because he couldn't make it out, but he's like, I think it says this, and then yeah.
Okay. So
Sorry, I will roll the 2. Sorry, it's okay.
it's okay. I mean,
I mean, still a failure. Yeah,
huh? Wait.
because the 2. Because I didn't have the purples in there, so.
Okay.
So
Darn it.
you're 2
Okay.
and 2, but you got lots of advantages.
Okay. So I think
So what?
um
Yeah. So I, with the advantages, I'll tell you this, right? Because that's a lot of advantages.
Okay.
While you cannot read what it says, you believe that whatever it says is like that this Creative Waste Solutions is a company, and that it's probably a subsidiary of whatever the other words are. There's probably another company that is like higher up that looks after
Okay.
the Creative Waste Solutions, and that's probably the words that are there. Like you can discern based on how it's formatted that Creative Waste Solutions is a subsidiary of whatever the other one is.
okay.
Okay?
Right. Okay. I think And I can use a story point for this if I need to, if we even have any left.
No, we
We
do
do
not.
not.
We do not. Okay. Lynx is going to take a piece of paper and a pencil or whatever, writing implement out of her bag. And she's going to make a rubbing. She's going to attempt to make a rubbing of that second set of words. That maybe somebody else can figure out what it says.
All right.
Take a
Well,
look.
yeah, sure. I would have used 3 advantages. I'll give you 2. This is going to be a hard check. It is going to be. I'm thinking survival to make a rubbing. What do you think?
That sounds reasonable. Um,
Okay, so
yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I have set a difficulty for you.
Sorry,
It's quite difficult, but you can make a survival check. Oh, nice. Nice.
So if nothing else, at least we can take this to somebody else, and whether they can do something with it or not, we don't know. But
Yeah, you definitely create a good rubbing of it. Well done. And then you can report back to Rontal if you wish. There's nothing really else, I don't think. Does anyone want to do anything else on the way back?
I think we might need to seek a medic for our friend Ashley.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me take you back to. So it took us till. I'm gonna make it. Noon. Took us 3 hours to sort all of that stuff out. So it is noon as you make your way back. There's not an unpaid medic, but you could spend 25 gold crowns to get a potion that will heal 5.
That'll certainly make it better than it is.
Right.
Ashley's fine on that.
Yeah. Lynx will help either pay for that on her behalf or help her pay for it, depending on how insistent she is. Let me get this.
Alright, so it's 25 gold crowns, and it will heal 5 wounds.
Other things to do besides worry about that. So 59 minus 25. So I've got 34 left.
Yeah, and you probably get something from this. You've already gotten. So, who wants to take the water purifier? So you can add that to your inventory. Whoever wants it.
Got one for everyone.
It's just 1 between you.
I'm sorry, what is it?
It's a water purifier.
Oh, right.
And then you've got 2 chunks of this unidentified metal as well.
None of it really sounds like something Ashley would make a big appeal for. And so, unless the metal's like the unidentified metal's like really shiny or something, then they'll be like, well, that could be something.
It glows blue in the torchlight.
Right. Okay, Ashley would like one of those.
I think Lynx would take the water purifier. Like, if nobody else seems like they're excited about it, not that she particularly is either, but she kind of feels like it might be handy in her job, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you have to get water in some odd places when you're out and about all day long.
We also know where to find more.
Right. So,
Off. Yeah. Yeah. So feel free to just add that. I haven't got descriptions for either of those things because they're things that I've made up, but know that you can use them. If you come across water that needs to be purified, then you can use it. If you and I know what the metal is, and I can tell you once you get it identified by somebody. So and I know how much all of that's worth. So yeah. You can just go ahead and add those. Getting back to Rontal, you can report everything that you found. You give him the rubbing. He immediately looks at it and he says, I know what that says.
well, I'm glad you could make it out.
Okay. He mentions that every day he looks at writing from different cultures and different hands.
No wonder we couldn't understand it.
Okay, so the rest of the writing says an initiative of LES. And Rontal will be able to tell you what that means. It is Labour Employment Services. So, Creative Waste Solutions Proprietary Limited, an initiative of Labour Employment Services. With that, he gives you each a token because you have succeeded in your investigations. He gives you a token that you can take to, what's his face? Ganath de Vidalis, the Master Griffin Keeper of Throneport, for a mount each. So you get a token for a mount each. That is that. He says that a further investigation of Labour Employment Services will require permissions and that he will secure those permissions by tomorrow morning for you.
Nice.
But he needs to do some footwork for that. So you have the afternoon, but we have pretty much come to the end of the session. So we'll clear out that. So yes, you have finished your first quest, although you do not know what's happening with Labour Employment Services or why they're leaking bad things into the sewer. So we've still got some investigating to do. And we can do that this afternoon as far as in-game, but for now we don't have time for that. For real life. So is there anything else real quick that you want to ask or cover or say before we officially finish the recording and wait till next time?
I need another bath.
You and me both.
Absolutely.
I'm offending myself with my smell. I'm really sorry, everyone.
I don't know. Burnt flesh doesn't smell so grand either.
I need the nap.
All right, so yeah, we will finish off here then, and I'll stay on chat for a little bit, but I will finish the recording here. If anybody was watching, I hope you had fun, and to my players, thank you so much for coming. I hope this has been a good session. We've had, and we'll be back in approximately a month's time. It'll be the last Sunday of the month again. And we will continue this investigation and whatever else comes our way. So yeah, hope you had fun, and I'll stop the recording here. Thank you.